21 Pilots, here we go again, talking about 21 Pilots again. I'm a multifaceted person, okay, with a multifaceted YouTube channel that talks about anything and everything music, not just this one band. But you know what? You people like it, and they are giving me a lot of content to work with, so we're just gonna stay on this. I've been getting a couple comments that my explanations are easy to understand and it's helped people a lot, and that makes me feel good, so we'll just keep at it. I've gotten a couple comments regarding Keon, so I want to take some time today to really talk about that. Because I will say in the I Am Clancy YouTube video, they really didn't talk about Keons that well, and in fact I think they caused more confusion, because I've gotten a couple of comments asking whether Blurry Face was Keons, or it was Nico that actually died. And I will say the video is confusing because it says Nico got betrayed and it shows Keons getting stabbed, so I could see why some people probably thought that that was Nico killed instead of Keons, but it was Keons, okay?
Then Nico was betrayed. And I escaped.
So I'm just gonna make this video today talking about Keons, who he is, and what has he done in this story so far. As we know, Keons is one of the 9 bishops who govern the city of Dima. The 9 bishops all correlate to a song on Blurry Face, Keons in particular being Heavy Dirty Soul. The choke on the smoke, Keons in there. Now the city of Dima is sectioned off where each bishop gets to control a portion of the city. So citizens of Dima are kind of assigned a bishop to overrule them. Clancy's bishop is Keons, and we get some information about Keons in the letters Clancy writes on the dima.org website, which I highly suggest checking out if you really want to get into the lore, because that's where I was during the trench era, and I'll tell you what, I was certainly in the trenches. So here's a little snippet of one of the letters regarding Keons. We all worked to represent our bishop with honor, and knew that each inhabitant of our region had a like-minded dedication to consistency. Keons embodied the spirit of this dedication. Of Dima's 9 bishops, Keons was revered as unwavering and forthright, possessing the ability to achieve focus that was rare for most on our region. We all admired him and felt honored to be inhabitants of his region. While we had heard legends of a ruthlessness of other bishops, Keons possessed a stoic demeanor unlike anyone I had ever met, and we are all proud to serve. So, Keons from the very get-go is kind of set apart from being different from the other bishops, and oh boy is he different from the other bishops. I find it interesting that they make a note the citizens within Keon's region isn't really aware of the other bishops. They know of them, obviously, but they don't really know them. It really goes to show just how much the bishops don't want these citizens knowing anything. Because if you don't know anything, you're easy to control. But yeah. This is Keons. He is one of the 9 bishops, and he is known for being kind of the nice one. So eventually, Clancy ends up experiencing the events of the jumpsuit music video. This is where it gets a little weird for me, and maybe I'll get into a video of this later. But Clancy very much describes in his letter a perspective that is not Tyler's. As we know in the I Am Clancy video, Tyler is Clancy. So I don't know how they have different perspectives and different points of view of this. I'm still working on that. But this video is about Keons, okay? Not Clancy. Clancy experiences the banditos on the cliff, Nico on the horse, yada yada yada. This is where Keons eventually finds Clancy and takes him back to Dima, and this is what Clancy had to say in his letter. Keons approached me as the sun rose one morning. I wasn't scared, I was relieved. After all that he had taught me, his presence was the most comforting moment I had had in days, and I couldn't help but be happy to see him. In true Keons fashion, he wrapped his arms around me, then put his hands under my face, looked me in the eyes, and said, "Clancy, child, let's go home." So again, we kind of see this softer side with Keons. Of course, we know we cannot trust anyone in Dima, but his approach seems to be a lot less aggressive than the other bishops. Even goes as far as to call Clancy child, which, fun fact, Clancy means son of ruddy warrior. So maybe there's a connection there, maybe not. What is important to note is that Keons is sort of a comforting figure in Clancy's life. Now that can mean a lot of things, but he certainly does more than just comfort him. So jump skip from Trench to Scald and Icy, we get yet another mention of Keons. As we all know, Scald and Icy is the album where Clancy is made to perform and lie to the citizens of Dima. He has been out with the banditos and escaping time after time. He's creating hope among the citizens of Dima, and of course the bishops cannot have that. So they do want to use his reputation to their advantage. I should also note, there were some people talking about like why did they push this Clancy is dead thing? But it was very obvious he is not dead since he is performing for the entirety of Dima. I have an answer to that. I don't know if it's true, but this is just my interpretation. I think that we were taking this Clancy is dead thing very literally. I'm not necessarily sure if they ever meant it that he was dead, like literally dead. I think they wanted it to mean that what he stood for is dead. The hope that he had given the citizens was now dead because he was performing and saying, you know what, never mind, everything's fine, Dima's great. I think the bishops wanted what he stood for and what he gave to the people of Dima to be dead, not him, literally. Okay, that's my input. Back to Keons. So in this letter, Clancy really dives into the performance he had to put on for Dima. And once again, Keons is brought up. We arrived at a blue door. It was an odd contrast to this concrete maze. As I went through the doorway, I found myself in another typical gray Dima room. The only difference was who was waiting for me. 4 of them. 3 of them were unknown to me, but one was clearly Keons. I knew his voice. So as we can see, Keons was an active player and enforcing Clancy to perform for Dima and essentially lie to them. And you might be thinking, you know what, Keons is chill or whatever, but he doesn't seem like a good guy. That is about to change. Saturday and Outside music video really dives into what makes Keons important to this story. In the Saturday music video, you can see that there are a bunch of people partying on a submarine until a giant blue dragon crashes into it, causing the submarine to crash, causing Tyler and Josh to wash up on an island. This was all a part of Keons' plan. Keons seized Trash the Dragon, took control of the dragon, and forced him to run into the ship that would free Tyler and Josh, leading them to the island of Ned's, where Clancy would learn the power of seizing. Clancy and Tyler being the same person, or whatever. I don't know, man, okay? But whatever. All these names are confusing. If Clancy is Tyler and Tyler is Blurryface, does that mean that Blurryface is Clancy but is also Nico and they're all Tyler? I can't get into that. So Keons had this plan that he would help Clancy and Torchbearer escape during one of Clancy's performances on the submarine. I have a feeling that Keons was probably an inside player. He was playing such an active role in controlling Clancy during the performances because he wanted an end like this. If he was part of the game, he could control it and free Clancy. So I think he was just going through the motions to looking for an opportunity to save him rather than just being a villain. Eventually, the Dima.org website uploaded a picture that unscrambled the words "Seize Keons." A few more cryptic messages later, and the Outside music video was posted. As we can see in that music video, Keons was busted for controlling Trash the Dragon and ultimately letting Clancy go, and he was killed. This is what it means in the I Am Clancy video when it says Nico was betrayed. Keons helped Clancy escape, therefore betraying Nico. No, Nico was not killed. He's still very much alive, unfortunately. And he cares what you think. So stupid. Just so stupid. Get it? Because blurry face. Nico's really stressed out. Look, it's been a tough week, okay? Just laugh at me. So when you die in this world, you become a vessel. You are free for someone else to seize. And so in the Outside music video, we can see Clancy seizing Keons. He has an end now. He can use Keons' body to explore Dima if he chooses so, which of course he is. Which I think was Keons' sacrifice all along. He knew that the bishops would find him, he would die, but he would give his body to Clancy to end Dima. So there you go. That's basically all you need to know about Keons. I hope this helps. The pilots haven't been very kind to Keons, and I was getting some questions about that, so I thought I would pop this on here to kind of help anyone who is confused. As always, if you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.